YouTube channel. Thank you so much for all the support. This is poem number 3. There we go. Poem of Return. Okay. Before I start, please like, subscribe, and comment as well. This poem is very interesting. But let's see. Before I start, please have a copy of the poem in front of you, obviously. Okay. The first thing you need to do is look at the structure of the poem. So how many lines? So I see 14 lines. Automatically there's a red light going off. It's a red light. 14 lines, maybe it is a sonnet. So that's only one indicator, okay? Remember that a poem can consist of 14 lines and not be a sonnet. For a sonnet to be a sonnet, if it is Petrarchan sonnet, it must have an octave, a vault, and a sestet. For a sonnet to be a Shakespearean, it must have 3 quatrains, a vault, and a rhyming couplet. In this poem, it's not clear. So even though the poem consists of 14 lines, it is not a sonnet. It is not one. Okay? So that's the first thing. Then, poem of return. Some context. Rocha is returning to his home country. Okay? In this case will be Angola. So you need to know some history about Angola. Angola was colonized by Portugal. So the Portuguese colonized Angola. In other words, they settled, took over, enslaved the people of Angola. Rocha is what we call an activist. So he is fighting for the liberation of his people. He later became the president as well. So he is an activist fighting for the liberation and emancipation of the people of Angola. Okay? So think of Rocha as Angola's Nelson Mandela or Steve Biko or any political activist out there. The problem here is that he went into exile. And when you go into exile, you flee your birth country. Okay? So he fled his birth country, Angola, and went into exile in Portugal, where he was detained, kept in prison. Got it? So he is kept in prison in Portugal, the same country that is colonizing his birth country in Angola, in Africa. And he is writing a poem called Poem of Return. He is anticipating his return to his birth country. He is in his host country, Portugal, and he's anticipating his return to his birth or native country, Angola. Got it? And he says, line 1, when I return from the land of exile and silence, do not bring me flowers. So when I return, do not bring me flowers. When I return from the land of exile and silence, so the land of exile would be Portugal. The land of silence is Portugal. In Portugal, he was silenced. And in silence, if you know what I mean. Sometimes people are silenced and silenced, if you know what I mean. There's a pun there. I want to explain. So he's anticipating his return to his native country. And it is evident that he was isolated. He was isolated in Portugal. Remember, he was detained. He was kept in prison. He was detained, and he was silenced as well. Do not bring me flowers. Now, flowers would be symbolic of a celebration. Okay, so he says, I do not want to be celebrated. I do not want a hero's welcome. Do not bring me flowers. So he's anticipating that when he's going to return, people are going to give him flowers. People are going to pay their respects and their dues to him. And he says, I don't want that. Do not bring me flowers. I'm not a hero. He says, I'm not a hero. Do not give me a hero's welcome. Paradoxically, what he's saying is that the people who fought during the struggle against colonialism, they are the heroes. Okay? They are the real heroes. The people that fought against the oppressive system in Angola are the real heroes. I'm not a hero, he says. I do not want flowers. I do not want to be celebrated. He goes on to say that, bring me all the dues. Bring me rather all the dues. The word dues, there's a pun on the word. Remember, pun is a double meaning. Dues, bring me what is due to me. Bring me rather all the dues. In other words, bring me what is due to my people, what is due, what I'm owed, what is due to me. Secondly, due refers to the so the morning mist. When you open the window, like early morning, you will see that it's damp, it's wet. Okay, so the wetness of the window is emphasizing the tears of his people. So he says, bring me the tears, bring me the heartache, bring me the sadness, bring me the suffering. Do not bring me flowers, rather bring me the due, what is due, and the dues in terms of the tears, the suffering, the heartache, the difficulty. Bring me that. But I want to experience that. The reason why he's making this statement is because he is feeling a sense of guilt. He is feeling as if he left without fighting for his people. He abandoned his people when they needed him the most. So there's a sense of guilt there. Bring me rather all the dues, tears of dawn with witness dramas. There we go. So the tears of dawn. Bring me the tears with witnessed drama. Drama will be oppression and segregation and dehumanization and all the Asians. That's the dramas, right? Colonialization. Bring me the immense hunger for love. So he says, remember, he's in Portugal, right? So he says, bring me the immense hunger for love. So he's lacking intimacy. He is lacking companionship because he is silenced and he is isolated. So immense hunger for love, it's intimacy and companionship. Bring me the plaintive of tumid sex in star-studded nights. This too is making reference to an immense feeling of companionship and intimacy. So he says, bring me this. It's also emphasizing the idea of being isolated. He is longing for his people. Bring me the long night of sleeplessness. So why do you think people are sleepless? Because they are part of an oppressive system. So during colonialism, what happened was men had to go and defend the country, right? So mothers would say goodbye to their sons and wait in anticipation for them to return. And many times their sons will not return back home. It could be that they went into exile or they were killed or imprisoned. Okay, so exile, killed, or imprisoned. So these mothers will be awake, waiting for their child to return. Imagine that. You send your child to defend the country and then you wait, and the child never returns. So he says here, bring me the long night of sleeplessness. So that feeling that the mother is experiencing, he says, I want to experience that because of my sense of guilt, if that makes sense. He wants to experience the suffering, the anxiety, and the stress of his people. With mothers mourning their arms bereft of sons. So the mothers are mourning because the death of their sons. Bereft means to be taken or stolen away from them. Line 9. When I return from the land of exile and silence, no, do not bring me flowers again. He is being repetitive. Whenever something is repetitive, or whenever the poet is using anaphora or anaphora, it is to emphasize. That's key. When they say account for the repetition, the first word, it is to emphasize. Then we explain the emphasis. When they say account for the anaphora or anaphora, it is to emphasize. So it says here, do not bring me flowers. It is emphasizing that he does not want a hero's welcome, given that he abandoned his country when they needed him the most, thus feeling a sense of guilt. The real heroes are the people who fought during oppression and colonialism. He says, bring me only just this. Okay, so now he's being demanding or forceful. It's a forceful tone, a demanding tone, where he says, bring me just this one thing. The last wish of heroes fallen at daybreak. I love this line so much. So he says that the heroes are the ones that fought during oppression. His last wish, their last wish was to see Angola be liberated and emancipated from colonialism. They died at daybreak. In other words, on the verge. Angola was on the verge of being liberated when they died. So they fought during the struggle, but were unable to benefit from the fight. They fought during the struggle. When they gained independence, they were unable to. They died before daybreak, before a new Angola. With a wingless stone in hand, they never got the opportunity to cast their stone. They never got the opportunity to make their mark. They never got the opportunity to influence their lives. They fought, they sacrificed, not Rocha, the native people, the people that he left behind. They fought. They never got the opportunity to cast their stone, to make their mark, to live their lives. Line 14, a thread of anger snaking from their eyes. So this is a thread of anger because many people died, anger because of oppression, anger because of marginalization, dehumanization, all these Asians, there's an anger there snaking from their eyes. It somewhat implies to take revenge, to fight, to be defiant, and to be liberated and to be emancipated. So when you look at these people, you can see they are angry, and a snake is ready to attack. It is ready to attack. And he says the oppressed, they must be ready to fight. Snaking, they are angry and frustrated with the oppressive system. And he says it's time to be defiant. It's time to fight against colonialism. He goes on to emphasize that the sacrifice must be remembered. He's not the hero. The real heroes are the ones that fought against the oppressive system. They must be romanticized and given flowers to, not the poet. He's not a hero. In fact, he feels a sense of guilt, okay? Because he abandoned them when they needed him the most. Do not give me flowers. Thank you, grade 12s. Please like, subscribe, and comment as well. And yeah, poem of return.